So Aspen, thanks for taking the time being with us today. I think it's great. First time we've ever met, but we have pretty good rapport off camera as we got going today.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about the movie The Forge, which you are a very prominent part of. For those who don't really know anything about The Forge, if you're trying to encourage someone, a friend, a family member, a stranger on the street to see the movie, I mean, what would you say to convince them, or what would your sales pitch be?
Yeah, The Forge, at its core is about discipleship, and the heart and compassion of Jesus is expressed all throughout the film. And you follow a guy, Isaiah, who's on the journey in life where he definitely has some growing up to do, and he's trying to navigate his own journey without having that guidance and wisdom poured into him. So as the film progresses, you see that he has a major life change of surrendering his life to Christ, and he takes on responsibility from the right perspective as he understands what responsibility is.
So for every actor, there always seems to be a trigger, a tipping point, a moment where you say to yourself, you know what? I have to be part of that movie.
Yeah.
For you, for The Forge, what was that moment?
Yeah, so when I actually initially received the audition, I read the storyline and I saw the Kendrick brothers were attached to it, and I loved their films from the past. I was just like, man, the heart of the story of discipleship and like forgiveness of someone's father, like that was something that was personal to me too. So to be able to express that in the art form it was definitely a blessing to be a part of that, and I really wanted to, so it came true.
So in this movie, you're sort of the new guy on the block. This movie is like a Kendrick brothers all-star cast team. I mean, we've got Priscilla Shire, T.C. Stallings, Cameron Arnett. I'm probably missing, Karen Abercrombie. How can we forget her? What was that like for you as the new guy to blend in with this team that had been together on other movies?
Yeah, it was amazing because I've seen most of their work already, and I was a fan of Priscilla Shire, her sermons. It's so funny because my Bible is actually annotated by Dr. Tony Evans, her dad. So
Priscilla's
I got to meet him
dad,
on set, and that was pretty fun. So it just shows that the world is really smaller than it's really small, and we're all family. Come and bring together. It was definitely a family feeling too. So.
For those who haven't seen the movie yet, do these alumni, I'll call them, do they play the same roles that they've had in other movies, or are they different people?
I guess it's in the same universe. So you see some like family members, and Priscilla's character from War Room is actually her own sister, but she plays herself in this film. So you have the same people, but it's kind of interacting in the universe type form.
We hear about the Marvel universe of characters. Now we have the Kendrick brothers universe of characters. That's kind of funny. Let's dig into the movie a bit. I mean, this is a story that is seemingly becoming very common in our world. A young person sort of drifting through life, no plan, no purpose, not really knowing what's going on, often a single parent family involved. Why do you think this generation is representative of that kind of scenario that I just set there?
Yeah, because I believe there are so many distractions in the world. You have certain outlets of media, you have just these externals that the young generation wants to gravitate towards versus having that internal like guidance or mentorship or that family bond that we're supposed to have by default. So it's just like, man, like everyone's searching for something versus saying, you know what, I have this around me. So when you do have that environment and have that community and mentorship to someone to guide you, you have more confidence of like, okay, I can walk this thing out. I don't have to do this alone. So
you mentioned the word mentorship.
Yes.
And that to me is a core component of this movie. Why is mentorship so critically important to today's Generation Z, Millennials, whatnot? Why is that such a critical piece to have that, a mentor in your life?
Yeah, mentorship is very important because I believe we weren't created to just be alone, for one, as well as, we can't do anything alone. So to be able to have someone who's been in your shoes already to say, hey, I've made this mistake here, or like, hey, you may be dealing with this, I can help you with that, it's the best thing to have someone to rely on. So mentorship is very important.
Yeah, I know earlier in my career, I had a mentor, somebody who'd been in the business for a very long time. He kind of took me under my wing and really walked me through some times that maybe I would have made a different decision in the heat of the moment, and he would sort of guide me out of that and say, I don't think you want to do that, and here's why. And for those reasons, I think it's so important for especially young people to have that in their lives. And this movie really digs deeply into that. And I think it's a wonderful message that it sends. And one of the other core themes that I picked up on is accountability. In that is, I have a quote written down here, part of becoming a man is showing up.
Yes.
How important is accountability in this world, especially right now?
Yeah, accountability is super important in this world right now, because just to have someone to make sure that you're staying, on your journey and making sure like, hey, if you need anything, I'm here for you. Just to know that you have someone you can depend on, that you feel more confident of taking that path, knowing that you're not doing it alone. So just having someone to check in on you, not every single day, but just having those talks or lunch or coffee dates. It's just like, okay, how's life treating you? Like, what's the Lord doing in your life is really important to say, you know what, I have someone who's concerned about my journey, but also they want to be a part of it and helping me see it through. So it's really important.
There's another vital component. We're up to 3 now.
Yeah.
Another vital component of the film is the power of prayer. Yes. And we saw that right front and center in the movie War Room that Alex and Stephen Kendrick did many years ago. But I'll ask you, could you talk about the importance of prayer in a person's life and how important it is?
Yeah, prayer is everything, because it shows the Lord that, we're not self-dependent upon what can I do for myself or me trying to figure everything out versus like, Lord, you are Lord, and I trust you to show up in my life. So just giving him that invitation, I feel like that pleases him to be able to say, hey, you know what? You don't depend on yourself. You know that I am your Lord. You know that power is in my hands. All things are through me and to me. And it just shows that relationship that he wants with everyone he's created. So just prayer is, vital to every single thing. Let that be family, love, relationships, career. He wants to be a part of everything. He wants to be Lord over everything. So
yeah. What's something you learned about yourself making this movie? Maybe something you never thought about before, never realized, sort of an oh wow moment as you were going through the process of making the film? Or maybe since then.
Man, this film has definitely had a huge impact over my life and my faith as well. To be able to know that I can hear from the Lord even more, as much time I set aside intentionally to say, hey, I want to hear from you. Because every single day on set we started with devotion. And I felt like that set the tone of like, before I go to any set now, I want to make sure that I invite the Holy Spirit to say, hey, Lord, I want you to show me and work through me today. So that just showed me that, I always knew that I had a relationship with the Lord, but just to say, hey, I can deepen it even more no matter where I am. So that was definitely a blessing to be able to take that experience with me.
All right, changing gears. I have known Alex and Stephen Kendrick for roughly 20 years. I go back to the movie Facing the Giants with them. Been on the set, many of their movies, and I know how they operate. And I know that they like to have fun on the set. Can you share any funny stories from the set of The Forge? That's something that really tickled you or you laughed at a lot?
Yeah, so actually the very last day of filming, it was a scene where Isaiah was in his bed, he was asleep. And so the camera guy, he set everything up, and I'm like, all right, when are they gonna call action? So they literally were just waiting for probably like 6 or 7 minutes, and I hear snickering in the back. I'm like, I'm trying to stay in character, just like, all right, when is gonna call action? And then once I broke character, my wife, actually, she was on set, she came around and she kind of tried to spook me. So, and then there was a wrap for my character. So I was like, that was the first kind of surprise.
So no shaving cream or whipped cream falling around. I've been on sets before where the pie in the face kind of thing, just to break up the monotony of the day of filming. So, hey, final question for you, and that is, after people have gone to the theater, they've seen The Forge, what would you like to see audiences take away from that film? What's your greatest hope for the movie?
Yeah, my hope when people see this is that, they see parts of themselves and can say, you know what, I can simply put my trust in Jesus. Whether that be for the first time coming to the faith or someone wanting to deepen their faith, to know like all I have to do is invite him in my heart and let him do the rest, because that's what he wants to do and he has the power to do that. So
I'm going to say this right now.
Yes.
Amen to what you just said. That's tremendous. So the name of the movie, once again, is The Forge. He's Aspen Kennedy. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.